SpongeBob and Patrick track down their childhood hero. They find him decayed, elderly, living alone in a house full of memorabilia. They try to bring back the magic. Then he drops them. Millions of people are posting photos from 2016, calling it the last good year. SpongeBob already knows why they can't go back. The episode is called We Heart Hoops, Season 14, aired November 21st, 2023. SpongeBob and Patrick watch an old black and white cartoon called The Kelp Bed Kids and become obsessed with a character named Hoops, a kid who beats bullies with hula hoops. They track down his address, show up at his house, and discover that Hoops is now Old Man Walker, elderly, decayed, living alone. His childhood nemesis Ajax, also elderly, still drives a tank to his house to egg it. SpongeBob and Patrick try to stage a comeback.
Hold that pudding. We can build our own tank.
They build a tank. Fight Ajax and win. For one moment, Hoops is Hoops again.
Goes Ajax!
I'll get you next time!
Then he tries to hold them up in celebration, and his arms give out. He drops them. The episode doesn't end with a victory lap, it ends with a fall. The screen is black and white. SpongeBob and Patrick are watching The Kelp Bed Kids, an old cartoon with pie-eyed characters and vintage animation. The show within the show features a group of kids, Snappy, Puffy, Grandpat, and their hero Hoops. Hoops is the one who stands up to the bully. He traps Ajax in a hula hoop, says his catchphrase, "Ya dizzy ding-dongs," and saves the day. SpongeBob and Patrick are on the floor, completely in love with this character. They buy official Hoops merch on eBay. They learn his address is printed on the hula hoop. They decide to go meet him. And this is where the episode shifts. They show up at the address and find Old Man Walker's house. Kelp Bed Kids memorabilia everywhere. Photos on the walls. A life frozen in a single era. SpongeBob takes one look at Walker's face and says it out loud.
Old Man Walker is Hoops. He's just kinda, sorta, decayed.
The show gives you a gross close-up. The right side of Walker's mouth literally falls off. Patrick hugs him so hard his bones crack.
You're breaking my bones!
Hey, Patrick says, he's got a new catchphrase. That's the moment. The thing you loved is still in there, but the container it lives in has aged, broken down, and become something you barely recognize. The catchphrase is the same. The person saying it isn't. Then Ajax shows up in a tank. Elderly Ajax, still bullying Hoops after all these years, still egging his house, still calling him Hoops the Poops. And SpongeBob and Patrick, desperate to recreate the cartoon, build their own tank, the Meanie Mangler, and stage a full battle in the streets of Bikini Bottom. Buildings get destroyed. Police boats act as pinball bumpers. It's chaos. And it works. They beat Ajax. Old Man Walker stands tall, claims his old name, and shouts, "I'm Hoops the Poops!" He takes the insult and makes it his own. For one glorious moment, he's the hero again. He grabs SpongeBob and Patrick in his hoops, lifts them into the air, and everything feels like the cartoon. The music swells, the fans are cheering, the catchphrase lands, the comeback is real. Then his arms give out, he drops them, they scream the whole way down. That's the last thing that happens. Not a triumphant freeze frame, not a lesson learned. Not a montage of everyone laughing about it later. Just an old man whose body couldn't hold the weight of what his fans needed him to be. The comeback was real. The magic came back, and his arms still gave out. Because wanting something to work and it actually working are two different things. And the second one has an expiry date. Now, let me tell you what's happening on every screen in the world right now. The trend has taken over TikTok and Instagram. The hashtag 2016 has over 2.3 million TikTok posts and 37 million on Instagram. People are sharing old photos, old outfits, old screenshots, recreating Snapchat dog filters, doing mannequin challenges, posting their 2016 selfies next to their 2026 faces. Celebrities have jumped in. John Legend, Reese Witherspoon, Selena Gomez, Charlie Puth. Everyone is looking backwards. And the message underneath all of it is the same. That was the last time things felt normal. Before the pandemic, before the algorithm fractured the internet into a million echo chambers, before AI started writing the articles and generating the images and threatening the jobs, before doom scrolling became a word, before your feed stopped showing you your friends and started showing you content optimized to keep you angry or afraid. 2016 was the last year the internet felt like a playground instead of a battlefield. The last year your phone felt like a toy instead of an obligation. The last year you could open an app without feeling like something was being extracted from you. A fashion analyst told Vogue that people remember 2016 as the last moment of true mass culture. Before that, everyone watched the same things, laughed at the same memes, shared the same moments. You could reference a Vine and everyone in the room would know it. You could post a photo and your actual friends would see it. Not because an algorithm decided they should, but because that's how the feed worked. After 2016, the algorithm split us into segments. Your feed and my feed stopped being the same feed. The shared experience died, and what replaced it was personalized content that felt like connection, but was actually isolation wearing a mask. And here's the part that connects it to the episode. The 2016 trend isn't nostalgia. Nostalgia is warm. Nostalgia is looking at a photo and smiling. This trend has an edge to it, an ache. People aren't just remembering 2016, they're mourning it. They're grieving a version of the internet and a version of themselves that doesn't exist anymore. They're doing exactly what SpongeBob and Patrick did, tracking down the address of something they loved, showing up at the door, and finding an old man in a house full of memorabilia. The kelp bed kids merchandise on the walls, the address printed on a hula hoop, the evidence that something real once lived here, and the decayed face that greets you when you knock. SpongeBob and Patrick did everything right. They found the hero. They fought the battle. They won. And for one moment, standing in the streets of Bikini Bottom with hoops holding them in the air, it was real again. Then he dropped them, because the body that held the magic simply couldn't hold it anymore. Not because the magic was fake, not because the memory was wrong. The cartoon was real. Hoops was real. The catchphrase still worked, but the person saying it had decayed. Time did what time does, and no amount of love from the fans could reverse it. That's the 2016 trend. The people posting their old photos aren't wrong to miss it. 2016 was real. The internet really did feel different. The friendships were really easier. The feed really did show you your friends. You opened Instagram and saw your mates, not a targeted ad for something you whispered about near your phone, but the infrastructure that made it possible, the pre-algorithm internet, the unoptimized feed, the shared cultural moment, that's Old Man Walker now. It's still technically there. You can find traces of it if you look hard enough, but it can't hold you up anymore. The arms give out. They always do. The episode understands something that the trend doesn't. SpongeBob and Patrick's mistake wasn't loving hoops. Their mistake was thinking that if they just showed up and tried hard enough, they could make the past perform for them again. They built a tank. They staged a war. They literally reconstructed the plot of the cartoon in real life. And it worked, right up until the moment it didn't, because you can't recreate every detail of something you lost. And the one thing you can't recreate is the time in which it existed. Every Snapchat dog filter recreation, every mannequin challenge revival, every 2016 playlist repost, that's SpongeBob and Patrick building the Meanie Mangler. It feels like you're bringing something back. You're not. You're standing in the wreckage of a battle that's already happened, holding up an old man and asking him to be young again. And he'll try. He always tries. But the arms give out. SpongeBob knew. The episode aired in 2023, a year before the 2016 trend even started. And it already had the ending. The hero doesn't disappoint you. The hero doesn't betray you. The hero just can't hold you anymore. It's not a tragedy. That's time. And the only thing worse than losing something good is going back to prove it's gone. You'll find what you're looking for, and it will break your heart. Not because it changed, but because you didn't want it to. Old Man Walker is still alive. He's still in Bikini Bottom. He still says, "You dizzy ding-dongs!" But the cartoon is over, and the sooner you stop trying to rewind it, the sooner you can watch what's on next. Tell me I'm wrong. Drop a comment. If 2016 was your year, or if you've got your own Old Man Walker you can't stop visiting, I want to hear it. Hit like, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.